Hello. Welcome everyone to African Travel and More. Today in this video, I want to show you what the process looks like at Kotoka International Airport in Ghana. I'm thinking because I'm saying, did I say this right? So go ahead, if you are new to my channel, welcome. Please subscribe so that you'll get more videos like this. Thank you for returning. Thank you for support. Enjoy this video and let me know what you think in the comments, because I want you to see what it's like when you go.
The reopening of Ghana's borders by air takes effect September 1. Now, what this means is that international airlines now have access to the Kotoka International Airport. And so on this edition of the Citi Newsroom, we're here at the airport to bring you a general observation of day one of the reopening of the borders. Now, we understand that there are no commercial flights scheduled for day one of the reopening of the borders, but there are some chartered flights that will be coming in, with some also departing the country. If you get to the airport, you see officials from the Ghana Health Service, that of the Immigration Service, as well as some government officials making their way into the airport here at Terminal 3. We understand they are going to tour the facility and to finalize plans before the commercial use of the facility. And now we're hearing announcements that some flights have indeed touched down. And so we'll make attempts or effort to speak to some of the passengers aboard those flights.
May I please have your attention? The Ghana Airports Company Limited wishes to inform all passengers and stakeholders that flight KL543 from Amsterdam has just landed. Thank you.
So what were some of the processes you were taking through when you got to the airport?
We had to go to the immigration, obviously. We had to go to the health services over there. And then at the end, I mean, we are all coming back to Ghana. We are residents in Ghana. And now we stayed a long time in overseas. And now we can come back, and that's a great thing.
I just want to find out if you were tested on arrival.
We had a test before. We brought a test. And they told us, because our specific flight was supposed to come yesterday, so we might still have to go in quarantine. That is fine with us. We do not expect anything else. So now we just get our drivers from our company, and then we take...
So that means you were not tested here at the airport?
No, we were supposed to be tested, but because our flight was supposed to come yesterday, before the opening, the official one, and couldn't come yesterday due to reasons we don't know. We were tested before we came here, and now we will have to go to our residences and go into quarantine. And that's fine. I mean, that's okay. For 2 weeks, and then if we don't develop anything, we are good.
Right. So you showed documentation here to prove that you had been tested?
Definitely. Everything at this health booth. When you come inside, the first stop are these health booths before you go to immigration. Oops, sorry.
Did you come on a commercial flight or the chartered?
I came on a KLM flight, just arrived.
Okay, was it commercial or chartered?
Well, it is. I think it's still a chartered flight, but it was very well.
So what's your experience with the reopening of the airport?
Everything was very well functioning, very good.
What requirements did you have to meet?
I had to show my papers, and I had already shown my COVID passport. So everything is good.
Right. So you showed documentation to prove that you were COVID-free?
Yes, I did that on the way in.
So kindly run us through the process. Yes, when you landed, what happened?
It was quite easy, quite fast. Things are running smoothly, and you are tested by a thermic camera. You must provide people and of the health service of Ghana with all the documents requested, and the immigration as usual.
So basically what we are picking from the interviews we've had so far is that these persons we've spoken to are diplomats or officials of various embassies in the country, and that they have a standing order between the government of Ghana and their various governments that prior to the opening or reopening of the borders, they were not subjected to the PCR test at the hospital, but then there's an agreement for them to go into mandatory quarantine for 2 weeks. And so that is why they were not tested here at the airport. Now, a second group we are seeing, those who have been escorted to board the Ayalolo bus. Now, we understand that these persons were aboard a KLM flight from Amsterdam that was scheduled to have arrived in Ghana on the 31st of August before the 1st of September, where the new protocols announced by the president take effect. And that is the reason or the explanation why these persons are being escorted to undergo their mandatory quarantine from where they will be tested. And that is why they were not tested here at the airport. But let's get a proper understanding. Let's seek some clarity from the officials.
And we are here to observe the processes that passengers will go through, and possibly it's a first day. In case there are any areas that we need to improve upon, we shall do so.
We've spoken with some passengers, and they tell us that they did not go through the PCR test as was announced by the president. Is there any explanation for this?
I'll be surprised if any passenger will say that he or she did not go through that. What it is that some stranded Ghanaians abroad were being evacuated. Now, KLM had already put in place those mechanisms, if you like, because what it is that passengers will have to pay, you are aware, and indicate hotels that they want to be quarantined. So those are the ones who have been granted waivers, that's all. And aside that, every passenger who has arrived, first official arrival, has had to go through the process. I mean, I don't think there's any exception here. It's a process. Respectfully, we all have to go through that. And so once you go through and the results indicates negative, as you all heard Mr. President said, we go by that. Well, it's a first day of the exercise. We'll take briefing and then be able to speak to it.
Were we able to meet the 15-minute time for the test? And then have we designated an area for
the briefing to come, the report after the exercise? It's too early for me to comment on these ones.
Here at the airport, a number of businesses, mostly in the food and beverages sector. And so let's talk to them, find out how they were impacted by the closure of the airport, and of course their expectations from reopening of same. So let's go in and then let's speak to the attendant here. Let's find out what her expectations are. So how was business during the lockdown when the airports were closed? How hard did this hit you?
It actually affect my business. Everything have collapsed, but I hope maybe they open the borders and the airport, things will get better.
When the borders were closed, the airport was closed, whom were you selling to? Which people were patronizing your service?
We just manage for the airport staffs. Those people are around here, they work at the airport, they help us, but not really, it's not that much good, like as we do fix.
So it's day one of the reopening of the borders. What are your expectations?
Because of the way they close it down, if they haven't closed it, I think we can surely make the money as we do first. But now I can say things will get better.
So the airports were closed for close to 5-6 months. How did that affect you? Are you still coming to work?
No. At first we were not coming, but later our madam called us that we should come a month. So instead of 1 month, I'm coming 2 weeks. So I get to half a pay in a month.
But what of business here where people patronize?
Oh, it is very slow. At first we can sell like 20 or
2,000.
Yes, morning to evening. But now morning to evening can give us like 400, which is 4 million. So it was a big blow.
Now the president has announced the reopening of the airports. When you heard this news, what was your expectation?
Oh, I'm really happy. And we're all happy that he has opened this place. So we hope things will move on fast. We'll get customers, so we will be okay. We'll get our full salary.
We're now going up to the departure hall to speak to some persons whom we understand are scheduled for some chartered flights out of the country. Which country are you going to?
I'm going to London in England, the UK. That's the charter flight organised by one of the oil companies here who's working, so looking after us and taking just over 100 passengers back to London, and then people go from London to other countries. Yeah. So
great. So with respect to the chartered flights, what sort of requirements were you expected to meet?
We had to make sure that we'd had a COVID test so that we are coronavirus free. At least 72 hours. We filled in many forms to say that we have not been in contact with people. Also, we had to fill in various other forms for the countries we arrive, so that when we get there, you know, the various different regulations there are with the COVID-19, and that was about it really. So
these requirements you met here in Ghana. So what documentations are you expected to show when you get to London?
When I get to London, I have to show that I have to prove that I'm travelling where my destination is. You have to say you can't just go in. If you go in the UK, you would have to quarantine, but I'm passing through. So it's my next flight I have. Also, I had to have make sure I'm immunisation form, obviously my passport, my identification, and give names of next of kin, people who, in case anything happened to me, so they could trace the corona and inform. So that's more or less what happens here.
Do you originally travel via chartered flight or you fly commercial?
Usually I fly commercial, but this was a special situation because of the coronavirus that this company laid on this plane. So I applied and they let me go on because I work in the industry. So I was allowed to do that, yeah. So.
How much of a relief will the opening of the borders be to you?
It's a lot, really, because I feel it for the Ghanaian public. Because obviously businesses are suffering, people are suffering here, and that's what I don't like, that the people in Ghana are suffering. So opening of the borders is good. People can come out, but people can come in. That's more important. People can come back in. Hotels can be full. A lot of the hotels are empty. It's really sad, and I know many people who are suffering. And so I'm happy that I can travel. I'm sad to leave Ghana, but I'm happy that the business will start up again. So
of your arrangements, the departure?
It's a chartered flight from the UK.
Okay. And how long have you been in Ghana for?
This time about 6 weeks.
6 weeks. Okay. Are you returning anytime soon?
Maybe in the next month or so.
Okay. What were some of the requirements you had to meet?
I've done the COVID test, 2 weeks quarantine. Everything as per the rules and regulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
What procedures or processes did you go through to be
Well, I mean, I know what is the requirement when I come back. But here, I just go, mask, you have to wear the mask and then go to check-in.
Did you go through the test?
No, we had the test before, yeah. 4 times already.
4 times?
Because we are from offshore, so we are testing, you know, every time we come in here. Plus at home, plus here 2 times already. Before 2 times, so total together 6. We travel to London, and then Berlin.
Okay, so you're connecting from London to
Yes.
Do you know what requirements you are supposed to meet in London before you connect to Berlin?
Well, at the moment in ECU there is no special requirement, but you need to register on the phone. So we have a special app, and then the UK government just monitoring you. But if I go to London or to England, then I have to go for isolation. Yeah? But because I'm traveling 24 hours, I'm allowed to just to go to hotel and then fly back. Too low charter.
Do you always fly chartered? Or
No. It's only because of COVID to have a charter flight every 2 weeks.
I hope that you enjoyed that. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, God bless you, God bless you, God bless you. Bye.